to International Scale Modeler. My name's Lee. Today we're going to do a review of the Ultimaker 2 Plus 3D printer. This absolute fantastic piece of kit here. Now I've had this 2 weeks and I bought it from the guys over at 3DGB and IRE.co.uk. They are a fantastically helpful group of people. If you're interested in an Ultimaker or any of the accoutrements that go with it, then they're definitely worth checking out. They're ever so helpful for me. I managed to sort it out while I was back in the UK for a couple of days and made sure I got the product and everything, and I had some fantastic support since I bought it as well. So if you are thinking of buying one of these and you're in the UK, I do think they have shops all over the world actually, Ultimaker. So, but it is there. I'll flash up the link there and everything for you. But they are a fantastic group of lads, and they've done me really well. So thank you very much, guys, to you guys there. So the Ultimaker 2 Plus 3D printer. What can I say? I've been on the fence for a 3D printer for a long time now. For at least a year, I've been thinking, oh, I want one. But a lot of the prints that you see, the resolution's not very good, and you just think, is it really worth it? Because there's not really stuff you can use actually on the printer. You know, it comes off, it's great, but it's rough and it doesn't look nice at all. And so I've been doing a lot of research and things like that. In the last 3 months, I've been looking in earnest. And I did a lot of research into 3D printers, price ranges, things like that. I gave myself a price range of £2,000 as an absolute max. And I said I'll get whatever I can, the best in that price range. And the main choices between 3D technology is SLA, stereolithographic, I think it's called, and obviously FDM, which is mounted extruded plastic basically. The SLA uses UV light, if I remember rightly, and a resin liquid, and it pulls it up out of the resin liquid in layers rather than printing down as with one of these plastic PLA printers. Now the choice was there's the Ultimaker 2 Plus, for which I found. I did all my reviews for this one, and this is the only printer that I could find that didn't have a negative review anywhere about it. And when you look on all the sites, the review sites, they've got the pros and the cons, and the only con was the fact that it didn't have a double extruder, which most 3D printers don't have anyway. There's one or two on the market and that's it. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. Although, as I record this, I know that the very next day, tomorrow, they are meant to be releasing one with a double extruder, which is really annoying because I've just bought this one. But the SLA one, I was going to look at Filament, a company called Filament. They seem to do a really good, affordable SLA one. But again, they were near the £3,000 mark, so it was a step up again. Even though you can get a high resolution and the technology's more commercial with the SLA printers, I think the majority of stuff that I'm going to be using and what I want it for, I have the resources and the backup and the support and all the software and everything for this, and a massive online community as well. So I plumped for this, and I'm so glad I did. I've done, as you can see behind me here, we'll go through a couple of these prints in a minute, but as you can see from the overhead, actually, just pull those in. You can see there's quite a few I've done there. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't put on there because I've actually designed and produced two products for Ultimate Modern Products while I've had it in the 2 weeks, and you can expect a lot of stuff coming off of the Ultimate Products line over the next year or so. I've got so many ideas that they might be big sellers and they won't take the world by storm, but they're going to be handy for a lot of modders because it's what I find handy, and so I've sat down and designed them, and it's going to help me with my modelling experience. So if it helps me, I'm sure it'll help other people as well. So we won't make a great deal of money on them either, so we'll try and make them affordable to everyone. So but as far as the printer goes, it's hard to do a review because it, something like, let's say the International Scale Modeler badge that I did recently, that was in fast resolution, so it was very fast. The details not too intricate or anything like that, but that still took, I think, 2.5 hours to print. So the trouble is with 3D printing is the timescales that are involved. But I have to say that the software that comes with this, you download a software called Cura, which you download off Ultimaker's website, which is just slicing software, which turns the design that you've made from STL and it slices it layer by layer, so it tells the printer what to do. It's very easy to use, very intuitive, and it has all the advanced features. And I didn't even look up or learn how to use it, I just guessed what it was, and it was very intuitive. So great software and support to back this up. The prints themselves, the first thing I ever did, I'll just show you this because I'm quite proud of this. This was literally the second day I had this. All these little tools come with the printer. Go to the overhead look, so you can have a look. All these things come with a printer. So you got like a Pritt stick, a little screwdriver, a nozzle set, some Allen keys, a spanner, an SD card. This is the only thing I've added, which is a little blade to scrape the glass plate, and a calibration card. I wanted somewhere to keep them all tidy because I didn't want to keep them in the desk. So I built this little thing with hooks and everything, so it hooks on the side of the Ultimaker like so. And it keeps everything tidy and to hand. And I've made some extra hooks as well, so I've got lots of other little hooks on there. And then I made this, for which you'll see in a minute, which is to hold the mobile phone, to be able to do a time-lapse photography on the thing itself. So what I'm going to do before I go into the builds and everything, I'm just going to show you this quick time-lapse video that I did for the International Scale Modeler Plaque. And it's only, I think the iPhone turns it into a 20 or 30 second slot. And it took 2.5 to 3 hours, obviously compressed into 20 seconds, so it builds up quite quick. But I think time-lapse photography was made for 3D printing. I'm going to try and do it on one of the larger things and leave it overnight, but I've got to make sure I've got enough space on my phone to do it. But let's have a quick look at the building this plaque up. So over to that. There you go. As I said, very quick indeed. It looks like it didn't take long, but it did take quite a while. But as 3D printers were made for time-lapse photography, it's absolutely brilliant to watch those come up. You can't sit there and watch it because you'd end up getting nothing done for the rest of your life. But it's what I like about this machine. It's fantastically lit. It's got LED lights all inside it and everything. You know, there's little touches like the screen, the SD card slot. I love. A lot of people moan about having this SD card slot in there rather than being able to hook it straight up to your computer. I like that because if the computer crashes or anything like that, this is a complete separate entity to my Mac or anything like that. So it literally is. It's no big deal just to load it onto an SD card and slot it in there. You know, really, I don't know why people moan about it. But it's quite a simple process, and that makes that a standalone unit on its own, which I like. And the fact that it's not connected to my computer, it's not going to crash, my computer's not going to cause it to stall or anything like that. So the only thing that stops it is the odd power cut and everything, which we get here, which has happened, which is annoying. As for material, you get the material in, let's just show you things. You get one with it, you get a big silver reel with it, and then you buy this stuff, and this is how the filament comes. And this is 2.85, I believe, millimeters thickness, and that's for your 0.4 nozzle and upwards. And you get smaller 1.85, I think it is, filament as well, or 1.75, and for the smaller nozzles for much finer work. But it comes in, it's done not done by length, it's done by weight. This is 750 grams, which is inner fill, which is the same stuff as the Ultimaker labels their own. I've got to say, I've just ordered a few from a company called Rigid Ink in the UK, and they're supposed to be the best value for money and best printable stuff out at the moment. So I've ordered some ABS and I've ordered some more PLA, some rubber stuff. You can actually make rubber tracks and things like that. And you know, elastic bands and O-rings and all that sort of stuff. You can make those as well, and you could get water dissolvable stuff for supports. So that's a lot of models will have overhangs, which obviously you can't print in the middle of the air with. And you get this, if you have a dual extruder, you can have water soluble supports, which means you put it in water, some of it dissolves and leaves the model, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there's lots of things. You can get really hardened stuff, you get metal infused plastic and all sorts of stuff as well. So I'm really going to enjoy experimenting with this. I've got another little business option that I've got here on the island with the marine companies as well, which we can use the ABS for and everything. So it should be a good little, should earn me some money, hopefully, fingers crossed as well. But I really enjoy designing stuff in the CAD, and then the stuff that I've designed, a few hours later, it's real and it's in your hands. And I've designed I've got 4 of my very own designs now. I'll tell you what, we'll go over to the overhead. I can't set the other camera up from the angle because of the Ultimaker's in the way. This isn't usually sat there, it's just here for the review. It's usually over the other side next to my computer, next to me. But we'll go over to the overhead and we'll have a look, see what I've done so far. So the things that I've designed obviously are the Ultimaker toolbox, which was kept on the side. And you know, I find that really handy. That was the first thing I did, and ever so handy. The other thing I've done is a little door wedge. Simple. My door kept closing. I used to use a stack of DVDs and things like that to do it, but now I use this, and it literally is just a little wedge I've designed and made up. Took about an hour, just over an hour to make, and obviously I've called it wedgie. Why not? But that was, you know, it's just little things like that. Oh, I need to do a wedge. Oh, I'll quickly design it. It took me 10 minutes to design it in the CAD and then an hour and a half to print it. And I didn't have to buy it, didn't have to go and look for one that I like the look of. I've actually made one I like the look of. You then got obviously the international scale modeler badge that I've done as well. And you know, this I think a few people have said they want one of these. I'll give the G code out free. The SLA file and SLA, not SLA, was it? SLT file. The SLT file, I'll give that out for free. So if anyone's got a 3D printer and they want to print these out, they can for nothing. If you want to buy them, then maybe we'll put some on the site. We've had a few people that said they're interested. Maybe I'll put 10 or 15 on the site and see if they sell or not. But probably be around about the £5-6 mark, something like that. But they're quite a good size. They're over 100 centimeters long, 100 centimeters, 10 centimeters long, as you can see. And they will look nice. And if you want, I can put screw holes either side, or you can just drill a couple of holes yourself. But they do look good, and we'll have a range of colours hopefully soon as well. The other design, my own design that I did, well, there's 2. Which unfortunately I can't really show you at all because they're products for Ultimate Modelling products. So I'm not going to show you those unfortunately. But those are those are my 3 designs that I've done myself. You've then got things like these guys here. These are low poly. It's looking like this is whiting out actually, but let's just turn one of these lights off. So no, it's not going to make a difference. But we've got these. Low poly Stormtrooper and Darth Vader, and really good. Low poly, really quite funky and retro. I think these will be painted up, movable heads, you know, all sorts of things. And for a low poly count, they're actually really quite well detailed. So I didn't make these. These are just things you can download. I also did a couple of these Ultimaker robots. With a Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper head on. Again, really good. Enjoyed this. I think these were the first things I printed out, and I saw them and went, oh, I want those. And you know, the first couple of days I was just printing anything and everything out. I've then done, this is quite interesting, a carabiner, made 3D printed carabiner in plastic, and believe it or not, it's actually really quite strong. I've only put a small infill in there, but if you made that a higher infill, I've only got 10% in there, but if you made 50% infill, my wife could use that with a horse and everything. It's really strong, and it's very clever how it's worked together. But you can, you know, a carabiner. Oh, I need a carabiner for something. There you go. Just gonna print one. You've then got the Pikachu that I did for my son, and this is obviously Pikachu. This took 12 hours. It's quite a big thing, and I've used 3 colour primers on it. I mean, we've got our Gal primer, which is the last coat, but I've done the oxide and the black as well. So the black first, oxide then, and then so it's filled in a lot of stuff as well. Got a few bits and bobs to paint and everything, but my son's looking forward to getting that as well, so that should be finished very soon. We've then got a little base that I've made, and this is for my Minion figures, for RetroKit Minion figures. And I didn't make this is again downloaded, but there's loads of these on there from Dungeons and Dragons and Wargaming and things like that, so I'll never be short bases for the Minions. We've then got this, which I built for a friend. Now this is, if any of you played Fallout 4, you know what this is. This is a Nukem cola bottle and top as well. As you see, it's hollow inside. Really good. It actually really does look like a thing. I really think this is whiting out on that. I can't tell if it's whiting out too much or not. But so I'm going to paint that up and give that to my friend back in the UK. I'm going to take that with me. He'll love that. That'll be pride of place, I'm sure. He absolutely is a Fallout 4 freak. And then we've got the final thing, which I like the most so far, is my Batman figure. Now this is, get you in on this, you can get to see the detail. And it's just a little bust of Batman, and I've done it in fine print, and as you can see, it's come out really, really nice. I've had to do a little bit of work on the chin and the bottom of the nose because of the overhangs, and a little bit more tidying up. Get a bit of filler in there as well, I think. But that's come out really well, and I'm looking forward to painting that up as well. As you can see, very nice indeed. Some lovely detail there, and a great little thing to play with. Now, what you can do, or what I've been doing, is if I see a model that I want, I'll just download it, and Bob's your uncle. The other thing I did, something useful for the wife, to keep the wife happy as well, is this. Now this is a Dolce Gusto. We have a coffee maker, Dolce Gusto coffee maker holder, and it literally is a fantastic little design. And it literally is a base that with hollow, and then you've got a middle section with a spike. I'm going to do a couple more of these, and a hollow sits in that one, and then the top one just with a spike sits in that one, and there you go. That works really, really well. Fantastic, simple design, and props to the designer on that. They've done a really good job. So I'm going to get a few more layers on that because we have several cups, and maybe get a couple. And the lime green actually goes with a lot of our stuff in our kitchen, so that's going to be really good. So it's kept my wife happy as well, so she can see the benefits of having a 3D printer, of course. Yes, I like to think. But anyway, so as you can see, I've been quite busy with the printer. As I say, I've got other stuff as well. Printed a lot of stuff for UMP, which you will see after Christmas. We're in talks with a couple of manufacturers at the moment to see if we can get them get some moulds. But the problem with that is the injection moulding to have the cast made, even in aluminium, is really expensive, and it's just whether it's worthwhile, or I may do short runs on the printer or something like that. We don't know yet, so we shall see. But Ultimaker 2 Plus, as you can tell, I think I'm quite enamoured with it. It's very easy to use. It's quite simple. 3D printers can be quite daunting, especially when you see a lot of the homebrew ones on the market, where you got like the original version of this was with laser cut wood and things like that. And there's a lot of make your own printers and things like that, and they can be quite daunting because you look at it, oh my god, you know. This is quite a polished unit and a very good retail. It's along the lines of Apple. You know, compared to the other, I like the look of this more than the MakerBots and all that lot. The MakerBots are okay, they're cheaper, but they don't go to as good a resolution as this, and you can't get as nice prints as this. I mean, the majority of those prints that you see there, apart from the Batman is the only one I've done in fine. The rest are all done in fast, which is a rough version. It uses less plastic, and it takes a lot less time. Half the time usually, and that's the only one that's done in normal. I haven't done any fine yet, and that's good enough. If that goes the same again, the same distance again in fine, then you're looking at perfect prints really. So I'm really impressed with it, and it does look nice. It's lovely sat there. It does make a bit of noise when it's printing, obviously, but one thing I have noticed is when you're doing a complicated print, it actually sings, it makes music. It sounds a bit strange, but it just goes to show that the binary that it uses to obviously tell it where to print and where the nozzle to go and squeeze and everything actually has these rhythms and patterns in it, and it's really very interesting. You can hear it. Even Kate said, God, what music's that? And it's like the printer singing, and you know, it really is very strange. You have to witness it for yourself, but very, very good indeed. I'm totally impressed with it. And I should always have a 3D printer from now on. I won't be without one. But when I'm bored and there's nothing on TV, I'll go down there, sit on the CAD program and design something, print it out, and I think, oh hey. But it's endless fun for Josh as well. I forgot, I'll tell you what, there's a picture of it. This here is something that Josh made. Now my son's 10 years old, and for the last couple of years he said he wanted to be an architect. And we've tried to pronounce it because we're trying to promote that because an architect is actually a good line of work, It's a good career, and also it's one of those things, it's quite artistic in the fact that you design something and you give your plans into it and someone builds what you've designed. And I think it's must be a great sense of achievement to have someone build a building that you've designed, you know, it really must be a great sense of achievement. And he said he's been wanting to do that for a couple of years now, so it was quite natural that he had to go on the 3D printer and with a CAD program. And there's an online CAD program called Tinkercad, which is really easy to use. I mean, simple. You don't even need to read any instructions or anything like that. It's extremely intuitive and very easy to use. It's a very simplified CAD program. And literally, he was on that. In an hour, he'd knocked up a house. As you can see here, this house that he'd knocked up, designed. It's all him, nothing to do with me whatsoever. And then I just gave him the quick basics, how to move a square and things like that on the how to move a shape and change the properties of it on the program, and let him go. And since then, he's done this house. Since then, he's done a power plant. He's also done another house with a tree house and everything outside and trees and whatever. It really is good. So it's letting his imagination go as well, which is fantastic. So I think they're great. The bit of advice I give to anyone is do your homework, make sure you get one that's good for you. I mean, the choices are FDM or SLA. SLA is expensive, but you get better quality prints, but I'm not too sure about the material, the resin material, if there's lots of different types of things like that. I know for this there's lots of different types of plastic, and there's more being produced, you know, and come up with for all different applications, whatever you want to use it for. So there's even food safe stuff and everything. So I think this would be the better. If I want to, I know that now that if I've got a kit and I've got something missing off of that kit, I could probably produce it myself now. And the resolution is not high enough to do the really intricate detail on stuff, but to knock up a hull or a fuselage or a wing, that's more than enough. You know, all you need is a slight sand down and everything. Found our sanders are very good with this. We work with PLA quite well as well, which is good. So, but for me, you know, I like to give marks out and reviews and things like that. That's a 12 out of 10. It really is. I'm so impressed with it, and it's enabled me to go ahead and bring to fruition a lot of my ideas rather than have to pay someone to do or ask them to do it. It's backwards and forwards by email. No, I wanted this, I wanted that. Literally, I knocked something out. The two products, the main products that I've made for Ultimate Modelling Products, have been, the first iteration was crap, and it's just been a process, you know, an evolution of that idea. And it's come to right at the end, and I've nailed them at the last one. But each time I've printed a thing, I thought, well, you can have it in your hand. You say, well, that doesn't work. That doesn't quite work. It doesn't feel right, you know. And you can change it as you go. And it's fantastic to have that, you know, that concrete thing in your hand, and you can sit there and say, yeah, that works, you know, or it doesn't. So I love it. You know, my little design part as well of it. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So that is the Ultimaker 2 Plus 3D printer. If you're on the fence about getting a 3D printer, go and get one. 12 out of 10 from me. Really is a fantastic bit of kit, and thanks to the guys at 3D, GB and IRE for helping me out with it and everything as well. So that's it, the Ultimaker 2 Plus 3D printer. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.